All right, guys, welcome back to the channel, Demar Easy channel, and we are back here with another web video where we're going to dive into a creepy pasta that maybe majority or some people may know about, involving Zelda. Zelda, and now some people might be getting familiar with it, but this creepy pasta with Zelda. This one is called Ben Drowned. So, um, it's a pretty popular creepy pasta surrounding the Zelda series, and I kind of want to dive more into it and maybe even do a video. Well, I guess do a video because that's already what I'm doing to see what it is and is it really, really true and is it scary? But here we go. We're gonna get a very general idea of what Ben Drown is before we dive deeper into it. So the Ben Drown is a here we go is a Ben Drown originally published as Haunted Majora's or Majoris, I don't know, Mask Cartridge is a three-part multimedia alternate reality game, web serial, and web series created by Alexander D. Hall under the pen name Jade Usable, originating as a creepypasta based on the 2000 action adventure game The Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask. I gotta see if I'm pronouncing that word right and correctly, but that is the creepypasta game right here. The creepypasta came from this game. I know from what I remembered from the creepypasta is I have to I'm kind of holding the mic right here, and sorry about the room. I tried so hard to get the glare out of here, so that's why boxes are thrown around. But from what I remember about the creepypasta game is that the it's a reconfigured, I guess, file type. I guess someone reconfigured the file in the cartridge of the game, and when they put the game in, it was a bunch of creepy stuff that was not, of course, part of the original game. And so, yeah, but let's go ahead and keep reading about it. Um, so let's start that sentence over. Originating as a creepy pasta based on the 2000 action adventure game The Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask and published by Hall from 2010 to 2020 with a hiatus. I don't know if I said that right, probably not. In between, the series is known for creating many of the current common tropes and themes of creepypastas and for subverting themes from the Legend of the Zelda series. The series concluded on October 31, 2020. The series. Wow. What series are they talking about? Okay, so I think it goes more into Hall. I want to read this, skimming through it really quick here. Do 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 do. However, by decoding a secret hidden siphon, Hall's YouTube account, oh my god, investigative readers gained access to a website that led to the story second arc known as Moonchild. Despite it taking the appearance of an ordinary mid 20,000, I said 20,000, I think I was right, 2000 website similar to Angel Fire, readers were able to find hidden URLs and secret conversations between the website's users, discipling a narrative that the website was home to a doomsday cult that was struck in a time loop similar to the ones serving as the main mechanic of the Majora's Mask. Dun dun dun. With the website resetting itself every 3 days, information found on the website on the third day could then be used by readers either through online methods such as emails or by submitting videos of users playing specific songs from both The Legend of Zelda, I don't even know, or Carnine of the Time and The Legend of the Zelda Majora's Mask to unlock an alternate path on the first day after the website resets. The arc was ended on a cliffhanger with Hall announcing a hiatus on on July 15, 2011. Okay, so a lot of shit's been going down on Hall's channel. I don't know where the that is the bit. Uh oh, the haunted Majora's Mask cartridge. So now let's dive a little bit deeper into the haunted the haunted Majora's Mask cartridge here. This is where stuff may get a little bit juicy. Okay, alrighty, okay, we're right. Okay, here we go, here we go, here we go, here we go. So, in September 2010, Jade Usable is a college student who brought who bought a suspicious Nintendo 64 cartridge labeled Majora, indicating it to be a copy of the Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask by a disconcerting old man at a garage sale with the save data of former owner Ben still on it. As Shad user plays as Shad usable plays the game, little inconsistencies begin to pop up, turning to outright glitches, leading Jad Usable to go to the online site Fortune to post about his playing of the game as it unfolds. Oh. Playing as Link, Jad Usable attempts different ways to modify the game out of curiosity. It reaches the point where he tries the Day 4 glitch, a well known glitch in the Majora's Mask community where players skip the third day ending with the ability to explore the game, the in game world as depicted in the credit selections, causing the Day 4 glitch break the normality of the game, and Jad Usable soon finds himself alone in Clock Tower with all of the inhabits gone, unable to advance the game by turning back time while endlessly hearing the laugh of the happy mass salesman in, in an attempt to achieve a game over and return to the main menu. Oh, oh. Jad Usable forces Link to drown in a pond where he does. Link clutches his head, screaming as in a mass animation. Oh, wow. This is getting pretty weird already. Okay. With the screen flashing to deprecate the happy mass salesman smiling and laughing, the game continues and the song of healing plays in reverse. A statue of Link is summoned, its face locked in, oh my god, an unblinking stare. The statue follows Jad Usable's character, moving just outside of the camera's perspective throughout the town. Jad Usable tries to escape, but nothing works. In desperation, Jad Usable turns the camera to face the statue directly. After a while, the screen flashes back to the happy smash salesman and Link. Only the latter also turns this time. The salesman, the statue, and Link all become locked in place. staring through the screen directly at Jad Usable. Oh, oh, wow. Oh, let's see. I think there's only one more paragraph to this. One more big paragraph to this thing, and I'm gonna go ahead and read it here. Here we go. Over the course of several sessions over a series of days, Jad Usable writes in pain-stalking details about each bizarre scenario he finds himself in, including spontaneously bursting into flames and lying unconscious or dead as Majora's possessed Skull Kid looks on in silence. In desperation, attempts to return the cartridge to the old man who sold it to him. He sees the house is empty. The old man's neighbor informed him that he has moved away. Jad Usable, after hearing from the neighbor as to what happened in that house that the old man lived in, concludes that the cartridge is possessed by the spirit of its previous owner, a 12-year-old boy named Ben, who had drowned almost 8 years prior. Subsequently, subsequently, I can't say that word. I had trouble up tongue twister. A figure calling himself Ben seemsly begins contacting him in and beyond the game itself, including changing his computer screen to depicting the elegant of the emptiness and speaking through the internet. AI Cleverbot using the I don't know, the Eagly statue um, as its physical form. Oh, something's crawling on me. As a physical form, Ben seems to take pride in being able to manipulate Jad Usable, who subsequently describes a series of dreams about the Moonchild depicted in the game's final, including himself physically transforming into the elderly, and how he believes he saw the old man who sold him the cartridge on his street looking into his window. Eventually, Ben is revealed to have been hijacked. Jad Usable computer and providing a false account on the story's narrative and resolution to force Chin and YouTube's, and using it to escape the cartridge on the internet, declaring, "Now I am everywhere." A secret note for Jad Usable after an apparent ecology from his roommate Tyler, who um who wait, Tyler. I think I knew Tyler saying now. Who accompanies who accompanied that Jad Usable to the old man's former house after the first time he played the game, offers the true telling of the event and reference videos that were never published, seemingly because Ben had deleted them after publishing his final account on the past week's event called the Truth.rtf. Jad Usable was never seen again. I called him Jad. It was probably Jade. I keep calling Jad. That's the same thing. But a pretty dark story there. I'm pretty sure there's a lot more to read here. Pretty sure. Let's see if we can find some videos or something on it now. All right. So I think I may have found something here. I try to stick away from YouTube videos, but let's go ahead and take a look at this. A little bit of it. It's long.
Okay. I need your help with this. It's going to be a long story, but I feel that my safety or well-being could very well depend on this.
Is it supposed to sound like that? I think that's my headphones.
This is video game related, specifically Majora's Mask, and this is the creepiest shit that has ever happened to me in my entire life. Having said that, I recently moved into my dorm room starting as a sophomore in college, and a friend of mine gave me his old Nintendo 64 to play. I was stoked, to say the least. I could finally play all those old games of my youth that I hadn't touched in at least a decade. His Nintendo 64 came with one yellow controller and a rather shoddy copy of Super Smash Bros. And while beggars can't be choosers, needless to say, it didn't take long until I became bored of beating up level 9 CPUs. That weekend, I decided to drive around a few neighborhoods about 20 minutes or so off campus, hitting up the local garage sales, hoping to score on some good deals from ignorant parents. I ended up picking up a copy of Pokemon Stadium, GoldenEye, F-Zero, and 2 other controllers for $2.
Get to the good shit.
Satisfied, I began to drive out of the neighborhood while one last house caught my attention. Now, I still have no idea why it did. And there was no cars there. Only one table was set up with random junk on it, but something sort of drew me there.
You bought
I usually
the game.
trust my gut on these
Okay.
things, so I got out of the
Get this thing
car.
Out of here.
I was greeted by an old man.
Or get this out.
His outward appearance was,
I'm trying to.
for lack of a
skip
better
some-
word, displeasing. It was odd. If you asked me to tell you why I thought he was displeasing, I couldn't really pinpoint anything. It was just something about him that put me on edge. And I can't explain it. All I could tell you is that if it wasn't in the middle of the afternoon and there were other people in shouting distance, I would not have thought about approaching this man. He flashed a crooked smile at me and asked what I was looking for, and immediately I noticed that he must have been blind in one of his eyes. His right eye had that glazed over look about it. I forced myself to look into his left eye instead, trying not to offend, and I asked if he had any old video games. I was already wondering how I could politely excuse myself from the situation when he would tell me that he had no idea what a video game was, but to my surprise, he said he had a few in an old box. He assured me that he would be back in a jiffy and turned to head back into the garage. As I watched him hobble away, I couldn't help but notice what he was selling on his table. Littered across his table were rather peculiar paintings.
Paintings.
Various artworks that looked like ink blots that
Is it going to get
psychiatrists might show
creepy?
you. Curious, I looked through them. It was obvious why no one was visiting this guy's garage sale. There weren't exactly aesthetically pleasing items here. As I came to the last one, for some reason, it looked almost like Majora's Mask. Same heart-shaped body with little spikes protruding outward. Initially, I just thought that since I was secretly hoping to find the game at these garage sales, some Freudian bullshit was projecting itself into the ink blots. But given the events that happened afterward, I'm not so sure. I should have asked the man about it. I wish I would have asked the man about it. I stared at the Majora-shaped blot. I looked up and the old man was suddenly there again, arm's length in front of me, smiling at me. I'll admit that I jumped out of reflex,
What the
and I
fuck is
laughed
going
nervously as he
on?
handed me a Nintendo 64 cartridge. There was a standard gray color, except that someone had written Majora's Mask on it in permanent marker. I got butterflies in my stomach as I realized what a coincidence this was and asked him how much he wanted for it. The old man smiled at me and told me I could have it for free. That it used to belong to a kid who was about my age that didn't live here anymore.
For free? What? What?
There's something weird about how the man phrased that, but I didn't really pay any attention to it then. I was caught up in not only finding the game, but getting it for free. I reminded myself to be a bit skeptical since it looked like a pretty shoddy cartridge and there was no guarantee that it would work. But then the optimist inside me interjected that maybe it was some kind of beta version or pirated version of the
Fuck
game,
is
and
it going? What
that
the
was
fuck?
all I
Is that-
needed to
is
get
that
back
part of the
on
video?
Cloud 9.
Oh yeah, that's part of the fucking
Fine.
video, dude.
I thanked the man,
What
and
the
the man
fuck?
smiled at me and wished me well, saying, "Goodbye then." At least that's what it sounded like to me.
I don't know if the quality.
All the way in the
sounds
car
like this.
ride home,
Hopefully it's not.
I had a
Hopefully it's just
nagging
I didn't
doubt that the
set
man
things
had
up
said
right.
something else. My fears were confirmed when I booted up the game. To my surprise, it worked just fine, and there was one save file, simply Ben. Goodbye, Ben, he was saying.
What is up with
Goodbye,
the music?
Ben. I felt bad for the man,
I can't
obviously
even
a
hear him.
grandparent and obviously going senile, and I, for some reason or another, reminded him of his grandson,
I can't
Ben.
hear him.
Out of curiosity, I looked at the save file, eyeballing it. I could tell that he was pretty far in the game.
I can't
He had
hear.
almost all the masks and 3/4 of the remains of the bosses. I noticed that he had used an owl statue to save his game. He was on day 3, and by the stone tower temple with hardly an hour left before the moon would crash. I remember thinking that it was a shame that
What the fuck, dude? I can't even hear it.
he had come so close to beating the game, but he never finished it. I made a new file named Link out of tradition and started the game, ready to relive my childhood. For such a shady-looking game cartridge, I was impressed at how smoothly it ran, literally like a retail copy of the game, save for a few minor hiccups here and there, like textures being where they shouldn't be, random flashes of cutscenes at odd intervals, but nothing too bad. Honestly, however, the only thing that was a little unnerving was that at times the NPC
Well, the fucking music like fucked that one up. That was wow. The fucking shit. Fuck. I wanted to actually. Okay, facts. Binge Round was created by Alex Hall, Jade Usable. I'm gonna call him Jade. Ben was not killed by his father. Ben was sacrificed to a cult known as the Moon Child or Children. Excuse me, I probably said that wrong the whole time. Moon Children. The person responsible for killing Ben was a man called the Father who sacrificed him by drowning him in a pool. His birthday is April 23rd, 1990. In the year 2002, he died on the same day. The creepypasta story was published on September 7th, 2010. Many people believe that Ben is able to access many web applications, cover bots, and will often chat with online users. So is Ben a real AI paranormal thing that is hacking through the internet? Who knows? Who knows? Who knows? I wanted to look at more of a video. I might go ahead and take my chance on a YouTube video. Um, for fuck's sakes, there is a wiki here that apparently we get to um we actually get to read about. So, oh yes, yeah, so this is where who was at in the Jippy. The old man smiled. You can have it for free. Yep. So he basically he was gonna read all this. Oh, if we can hear, I'm gonna go back to that video and see if we can just um look at it on YouTube and maybe I can skip it a little bit or something. I can't even like I can't even like do it, dude. Thank you.
hour, as you normally do when you first start day 1, only to find that all the inhabitants were gone.
Oh, so now
Usually with
it's
the
not
4th
playing
day glitch, you can still find the guards and the dog that runs around.
The fuck
Deciding
is
to do the glitch to try and finish the Snowhead Temple, I happened to get it right on the first try, and the time counter at the bottom disappeared. However, when I pressed B to escape the telescope, instead of being greeted by the astronomer, I found myself in the Majora's boss fight at the end of the game. The trippy boxed-in arena, staring at Skull Kid hovering above me. There was no sound, just him floating in the air, and the background music, which was regular for the area, but still creepy. Immediately, my palms began to sweat. This was definitely not normal. Skull Kid never appears here. I tried moving around the area. No matter where I went, Skull Kid would always be facing me, looking at me, not saying anything. Nothing would happen, though, and this kept up for around 60 seconds. I thought the game had bugged or something, but I was beginning to doubt that very much. I was about to reach for the reset button when text appeared on my screen. You're not sure why, but you apparently had a reservation. I instantly recognized that text. You get that message when you get the room key from Anju at the Stockpot Inn, but why was it playing here?
Oh,
I refused to entertain the notion that it was almost as if the game was trying to communicate with me. I started to navigate the room again, testing to see if there was some kind of trigger that enabled me to interact with something here. Then I realized how stupid I was. To even think that someone could reprogram the game like this was absurd. Sure enough, 15 seconds later, another message appeared on the screen, and again, like the first one, it was another pre-existing phrase. Go to the lair of the temple boss. Yes, no.
the fuck does that mean?
I paused for a second,
What does that
contemplating
mean?
what I should press and how the game would react. When I realized that I couldn't select no, taking a deep breath, I pressed yes, and the screen faded to white, of the words, Dawn of a New Day, with the subtext, 111111 beneath it.
Uh-oh.
Where I was ported to filled me with the most intense sense of dread and impending fear I had ever experienced. The only way I could describe the way I felt is having this feeling of inexplicable depression on a profound scale. I'm normally not a depressed person, but the way I felt here was a feeling that I didn't even know existed. It was such a twisted, powerful presence that seemed to wash over me. I appeared in some kind of weird Twilight Zone version of Clocktown. I walked out of the clock tower as you normally do when you first start day one, only to find that all the inhabitants were gone. Usually with the fourth day glitch, you can still find the guards and the dog that runs around outside the tower.
Huh.
This time, they were all gone.
I don't understand. I never played the game
What
before.
replaced them was the ominous feeling that there was something out there, in the same area as me, and that it was watching me. I had 4 hearts to my name and the hero's bow, but at this point, I wasn't even considered for my avatar. I felt that I personally was in some kind of danger. Perhaps the most chilling thing was the music. It was the Song of Healing, ripped straight from the game itself, but played in reverse. The music got louder.
Yeah, that's creepy.
Building up, so as if you should expect something to
Talking about
pop
the
out
story
at you,
and
but
the
nothing
video.
ever did. The constant loop began to wear on my mental state. Every now and then I would hear the faint laugh of the happy mask salesman in the background, just quiet enough so that I wasn't sure if I was hearing things, but just loud enough to keep me determined to find him. I looked in all 4 zones of Clocktown only to find nothing, no one. Textures were missing. West Clocktown had me walking on air. The entire area felt broken. Helplessly broken, as the reverse Song of Healing repeated for what must have been 50 times.
Oh.
I just remember standing in the middle of South Clocktown, realizing that I had never felt so alone in a video game before. As I walked through the ghost town, I don't know whether it was the combination of the out-of-place texture and the atmosphere and the haunting melody of the once peaceful and soothing song being butchered and distorted, but I was literally on the verge of tears. And I had no idea why.
What the fuck
I hardly
is
ever
going
cry.
on,
Something
dude?
had gripped me here, and this powerful...
What the fuck is going on with this video, dude? Oh, it is getting weird. This is getting really weird. Yeah, that definitely is something that gets you thinking. If it's really something out here, or if there really is some sort of AI technology, or can people really possess games? You know what I mean? Can someone be a Carnage? You know, maybe you can turn yourself into a freaking, I don't know, Xbox 360 Gears of War 2 disc. You know, maybe you can put your spirit into that disc. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe, is that true? Is that a thing? Is there really an AI out here that's spooking people? Who knows? But however, I am out of time for this episode. We may probably gonna dive into a part 2 of this, because we're not yet done with this. We're not yet done with Ben Drowned. So we're gonna come back with a part 2. So be on the lookout for that. We're gonna definitely dive into even more of this video We may even dive into a video that actually shows us everything as well too. And then sorry for my reading as well. It is pretty early here, and I just woke up, so yes, my reading was definitely off. However, I still hope you guys enjoyed the video as much as I did. Like, comment, subscribe. A lot more videos are on the way. And with that being said, you guys take it easy. You guys stay safe. And I'll see you guys all on the next one. Goodbye.